Welcome back to Light Talk, where the paranormal and the supernatural is a part of our everyday lives. Well, everyone, today we have a little different topic that we're going to be going through. I thought it would be very interesting for everyone to listen to, and since it's still happening. So, here we go. This could be a very touchy topic. So if your stomach isn't up for it, this is not something that you're going to be wanting to watch. So just to give you a heads up, it's going to be a very touchy and it's going to be
Yeah,
pretty graphic. So um, just for the heads up. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself.
and thank you for talking about the subject that's touchy and that it's not everybody that wants to get the real facts out. So I appreciate this. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a
real quick, like
survivor. My name is Chris Laterreur. Yes, my name is Chris Laterreur. I'm a survivor of the MK Ultra project, well, a sub project called the Monarch Project. Um, I'm one of the Montauk boys that went to the Montauk, the legendary base that Stranger Thing is based off, like the story is based off. So yeah, I'm here to talk because many of us can't talk anymore, or our past, or and there's many legends and tales and all kinds of stories about build on what happened there. But I want to get the real facts out because it's something that's going on. It's done by the government. It's done by teachers were involved in her case, the police, uh, all the people that you should be relying on, like when you're a kid, or we're corrupted and we're in that MK Ultra project called the Monarch Project. Um, we've been recruited at the age of 6, uh, going to a job fair with the preschool and kindergarten or something like that. So they brought us to the and that fair, and people were talking about their trades. They had table with stuff about their trade tools and etc. And the last booth were military and cops. They offered us to participate in a secret project. Uh, um, if we wanted, they gave us papers to bring to our parents, and if our parents were okay to fill them out, bring them back to school, and we would get an appointment. So I did this, and from there, there were uh, a doctor that was like a recruiter for the CIA, John Gittinger, and cops, and they were selling the idea of to my mom, saying that it would be done through light trauma. They were explaining this, but watering everything down. So yeah, at some point it was she was asking questions. They were just as soon as she was asking questions, important questions, they were just you know, like uh, watering it down and talking about nice stuff from the project that they were giving us 39,500. Uh, we I have a pension because of this later, for my old age. And also, what else? That we would get support all our lives by the elite people that were in in this project. And so yeah, they were promising nice stuff, and it's uh the fact that um they were saying that I wouldn't remember anything through the help of like hypnosis, and it would be just like light traumas. Uh, this wasn't like like there's many like uh, aspect that they didn't touch in that meeting, but like my mom was working with those cops in the same office, so she trusted them, like like and yeah, from there, like like so many kids got like recruited, like in my area, they bought a school, and from there, like they had to refurbish it, and which they did, and like that school was mainly used for the Monarch Project, and the way they like like a few kids were like regular classes. It was like like a normal school, like, but a few kids were in the class that were regular, not in the project. They were like separating the class, sending them to see like movie days or like field trips days, or like, and people from the CIA were coming to do our training. So they were training us to like do psychic, like telepathy, uh a lot, like be in touch with ourselves, like meditation and all, to bring us to do like astral projection, and also like remote viewing, and like get in touch with our sense. um it was like the part at school was super nice. Like, it was interesting and all. It's the part that they were coming to pick us up, like at night for a week or 2 weeks, and like our parents didn't have any word to say from the moment like we signed, because and also like my mom couldn't ask me any question about the project, and I couldn't like talk to her about anything that was going on in the project that was like specified at the when we signed. And like the stuff that they were doing was so awkward and like made us feel so uncomfortable. It's not stuff that we would talk about, like to parents, like easily, or stuff, like the abuse and stuff like that. So yeah, like that was like like a well-tuned machine, and they always use the same pattern through the years. I spoke with other generations of like MK Ultra, because this is like going on for like many years, and like through many generations, and it's always the same pattern, like and also like talented kids are like like the kids that are like trouble. So like it's not just specified to like a lineage of like a bloodline, or it's really like Mr. and Mrs. Everybody, and like they kind of mold us to be like like a head position there for later. So like they were like um a lot of like support for our for us kids, and like, but like the part that they were like the SRA like rituals. Okay, this is like satanic rituals, and like that was a common thing, and like um this project, like Michael Aquino was like the general. He was like the head of the Temple of Set, and like that's like bad memories, like, because um, the stuff they were doing in those ritual, and like uh, and when they were bringing us to like on like coming to pick us up, like that was like awful. Like example, Montauk. Montauk is a place where they brought us, and like it's like an old military base, and there's tunnels under it, and there's cages, And they brought us there like in the middle of the night. Like we drove like 6 hours from Montreal to like New York, like where this was, because like they were traveling us everywhere, and cops were driving us there. So the cops bring us there. We get there in the middle of the night. We walk in a little wood path. They open a hatch, and we have to go down probably 30 feet. And like once down, like we had to get undressed and like just in our underwear, and they gave us more LSD because like they were doing uh like like giving us LSD to get us like to open the doors of our mind, and like like so that was a regular thing, like the LSD during this project. And that's why a lot of the kids that were in the project like aren't able to talk today, because like they're so damaged, like like from everything they did to us. So yeah, sorry, I got puppies with me and they're eating the table. So I'm trying to cool it down. But yeah, so it was like the place there, like when we like they put us in cages, and we were all like staggered, like one cage had a kid, like the other one next to it didn't have any kids after the other one had a kid, but it was the same thing in front, but like staggered so that we couldn't like be in straight line and talk between us. And like there were a kid that was like checking us when the guards weren't like passing, and like there were like guards that were coming to pick us up and like bring us to an open room there. There were like water basin, and like they had like a cattle prod too, and like they were all making us like look at the wall. We couldn't turn. They were scaring us with the cattle prod. And like one by one, like we were getting like a waterboard in that water pan, and we couldn't look, and like we were like till we were giving up, and like they had to reanimate us, and we were spitting the water, and like, okay, get back on your knees, and they were doing it again. So and I was 8 years old there, and like we were all between 8 years old and like probably 13 max, like so that's the age that they were doing this there. And the guards were like drugged also, and like on LSD, and they had like a blast doing this, and they were going in the cage and like raping kids sometimes, and like like, and yeah, that's like militaries that like, so that's what they were doing. And um uh, there was so much there, like beating us up, like like because at some point, like there's a dude that came with a butterfly mask over his face to scare us, like in my cage, and like hey, I said, hey, I recognize you. I was drugged. I don't know why I said that, but he opened my cage and like he started beating me and kicking me, like he left me unconscious. So uh at some point, like they brought a kid that like right because I was on the corner of two rows of cage, and they brought a kid that was passed, and because like supposedly 1% of us made it out alive of that place, and like that's like what the staff there, like the staff that accepted to talk, like release for information. So like um yeah, like the kid, like they hang him by a foot, and like he was draining of his blood in a metal pan under him. But like the kid was my age. I was scared, of looking at him, and he was like right on the corner, and it was all to traumatize us. And but like I think the worst thing was like at some point they brought a pig, and I don't know how they brought him inside. Like there must have been another entrance, or that like without the hatch, like going 30 feet. But yeah, like they brought him in walking and all, and they brought him in the middle of the row of cages, and like they started butchering him, but super slowly so that it would squeal, but like scary because like like the echoing sound in the tunnel, like like and that was like so like intense, like um. Uh, so yeah, and all kind of traumas like that like were going on there, and like uh, that place had an experimental chair, like it was supposedly from the Roswell incident, okay, like and that was a technology that was really like off the chart in those years, because like I was sitting down on that chair, and like they were like putting a gas mask and making me breathe a flower that they just discovered in the Everglades in the 1980s. It was like a ghost flower, a ghost orchid or something like that. And they were making me breathe this in a mask, and like I had like a hat with like a bunch of like wires on it, and like on my head, and there's some a catheter for me to pee because I was going there like a few hours at a time, and uh, some socks and monitors, and I was hooked up to a computer. There were like a gas bottle behind the chair, and yeah, like they were installing like what looked like a mirror or a flat screen today, but like we're in the 80s, and we're like far from like flat screens. So this thing had like a tarp over it. Soon as they were taking off the tarp, like it was like a purple portal, okay, and that was just like literally like pulling you out of your body, like out of body experience, to like go astral projecting, and they were sending us to map everywhere, like uh, the like the astral planes, like and like we were mapping it through time, through space, like they were programming us, and like and on that chair, like we were just like, and like Preston Nichols was next to us, like after like hooking us up, and he was just taking notes of like all the questions, like he was sending us there and just taking notes and like mapping everything. Okay, so like they were mapping everything, and uh, yeah, like another thing, like on that chair when we were all hooked up, because there were a computer like that, like Preston Nicole was also on, like a bigger one, but there were also like a little screen on the right side, like at the level of our feet, probably, so our knees or feet. So and they were also bringing a table, a little table next to us, and they were putting it behind that little screen. And that thing had like a little box on the top shelf, and a pole, and like on the middle shelf there were like a projector. They were hooking the projector on that pole, and at some point uh, the pole was broken, so like they had to hook it up to a pipe that was on chains and a bungee. So like, and they were lining up like the projector's light to that light that was coming out of that little box on the top shelf. And what we were thinking was appearing as an hologram there, so floating in those two lights. So like we're back in the 80s, like 83, like so that's like like technologies that like they were testing with us, and like but like I did like mini tests, like there's like how many sub project, but in my case, like with the satanists of like Michael Aquino and Anton LaVey, like they were like they did like a special event at like the OTS temple, like the first like place. They had like obelisk tower there, and like they were doing like resurrection from the underworld, like rituals, and like we had to stand in the in the tower while they were doing this and all, and uh yeah, like there's so many, like I'm trying to keep like a track, but like it's like years, like the main like project before, like we had like our monarch certification and our card asset cards and like our insurance papers with like our clause for later and all, like that lasted 6 years. And after those 6 years, like they were just coming to pick us up out of nowhere to go do some like psychic tests, like a lot of like telepathy tests, and so and remote viewing, like remote view, like stuff that they were looking for, or like like they were giving us like um, tasks like that, and just to keep us like in like uh, kind of refresh the hypnose they have on us. And like they kept the one that passed, like uh, that survived. We were a fraction of the kids that entered that school at the beginning. Like from the first year to the second year, half the kids were gone, and like those kids, like uh, there weren't like stories about the. We were in a small town, like in like suburbs, so like it's not everybody that moves in a town like that, like, and the parents, well, when the kids were dying, they were touching 300 grand, but like they were erasing everything from the kids. Like those kids, like they never existed, but they're still on some pictures. But yeah, like uh, that's and like as soon as one of us dies later, even like later after like working or like regular lives or like they erase everything that we do. So like we never existed. Like there's no traces of us anymore. And like that's what I want to change. And like I give a few names in my because I wrote a book that's actually like it's my sworn statement. It's a notarized sworn statement. It's a legal document to be used in court for anybody that like has a case against MK Ultra. You can use this as a like uh comparison, like it's like a legal document. So like it's not just a book, and like it's my testimony, like without like censoring and without the tales, because like there's many like sci-fi tales that they added to this to my story to like be able to release it, okay? Because like it's not something like that you can release like that. So like they started like a bunch of bullshit around the story, and like they even like tried to make somebody pass for me for years, but they like the guy was like 30 something years, like when he should have been like 8. So uh yeah, like that wasn't working, and like that was debunked. But still, like like they made an empire out of like the story. But at the end of the day, like the friends that I lost there are like due to this, um, they can't talk today. And like I have that responsibility to talk for them and to try to avoid this to other parents, because like I'm doing this for the goal to help other kids to avoid this, because like what they're promising is so nice and so cute, and like like talented kids, like, oh yeah, you'll be like because like they were promising that I would be a genius, because like in that first appointment, because they would like uh synchronize all my brain. So like instead of having like not even half the brain that's like any regular human, like with the help of trauma, like they would like make that all my brain would work. But that's like still like they want to get you out, like me. uh I was starting to ask question at 30, 35, and like that's where I was doing good in life. Like I had like a Jeep shop, uh, I had the first franchise open. I had 6 franchise opening that year. I had 3.5 million in inventory. And like at some point, and those flashbacks started coming, like from tests that I was doing when I was a kid. And like I started asking questions to my mom about one of the tests that was done at the CIA hospital in Montreal that's called the Allen Memorial Hospital. And she got a 2 minute when because she was surprised that I was like aborting that subject, like out of nowhere. And she told me a bullshit answer, but like her as like my mom is responsible and like she's still in contact with them and all, and so like she had to let them know that I was starting to wake up and remember stuff. So at that point they set me up. They set all my group up. We got all arrested. They tried to kill us and all. Like they took everything we had. Some of my friends are like charged with importation of drugs, tons of cocaine and uh, murders and stuff like that. And they're stuck in jail for life without even like a possibility of coming out. But hopefully, with my statement like this will be used in court for them to have a second trial because it's all like they were trying to erase the proof of our existence. Like we're like a unit called the Reserve, and yeah, like they tried to erase us. One of my buddy got a charge for a gold mine ice with an helicopter, and also my other buddy escaped from jail from with an helicopter, and I escaped also from jail because they tried to kill me. They tried to kill my buddy too, and yeah, like a nightmare from because we were all doing good in life, and that day everything changed just because I started asking questions, and there's no other reason, so yeah, I'm trying to help people like other parents that are being offered this by people with nice suits and all. Like, don't trust what they say. Don't think that they'll be you know, like behind their words and all, because half of it is bullshit, and they're always kind of implying the parents slowly to be able to blackmail them, kind of thing, and so that their circle is getting bigger. So my dad was working outside months at a time, okay, at the in the James and at James Bay. So when he got back home, he really lost it, and that was the cause of the divorce between my parents. And he grabbed all my stuff and tried to get me out. And my cop handler, the cop that was my main handler, that was always showing me stuff, and uh, he was waiting for us at the city limits, and that's where. Uh, my dad had to go out of the car, and they went to talk, and after my dad came back in the car and sorry, I have to bring you back home. And I was almost 2 years without seeing him, and they were using my dad as you better do what we say because you won't see your dad. So just manipulating us. They broke my family, I had a perfect life before that, yeah. So anyway, what I thought I had, but yeah. So and yeah, from that point, uh, after escaping and all, I managed to because they wanted to send me for 20 years, in jail, and I fuck this. So yeah, so I escaped, but for a year, and like there were over 40 cops and investigators that were looking for me and hide it everywhere because they thought I was gonna go and kill everybody that so but I didn't, and I uh I turned myself in a year after. So that was kind of a breaking all the accusation that they were trying to put against me, because the real reasons were because I got arrested with modified weapons and munitions and all, and um I had a home invasion charge because somebody went so steal tools while I was moving my shop and opening the franchise and all. And they stole 50 grand a tool. And I went to hit him, but I got him like a cuckoo for life. So I was charged with attempted murder, and I had a brass knuckle, so arm aggression, and so yeah, and when I escaped, they tried to make me pass for crazy because I was in maximum security, and I asked my lawyer to get me a psychiatric evaluation because that was the only way to escape from the maximum security. So I had somebody waiting for me at the transfer place, and I jumped the fence, and they tried to run after me, but I was gone. And yeah, I had somebody waiting for me next to the place, and we left, and yeah, so I was out, and but yeah, they made me pass for crazy after they made me pass that I was there for domestic violence, and just to destroy my reputation and all, because I had I was known everywhere, in the Jeep world, and I was pretty known, so um, yeah, just to discredit people, that's the kind of technique they use. And so anyway, when I turned myself in, I broke all what they were trying to prove in front of a judge. But so I got released, and now I'm free. But yeah, so, a year later, other corrupted cops try again, and they tried to charge me with six attempted murder on cops because of a little fight, and and that was all created for by them, it was all for gold to send me back in jail. So yeah, they wanted us out of the picture, and that's how they managed to do this. So yeah, they use people you love, your friends, people you think they're friends, and they're just like other people that are sent by them to take information, and so it's a touchy thing, the monarch, the later part, kind of when when you got certified, monarch certified, and so yeah, that was yeah, I did my experience in the MK Ultra. So yeah, yeah,
So you were in there as a little child, and you have gone through so much as a child. And
yeah,
when you're 13, you're let go, right? So you're just
yeah.
set
But
free.
yeah, you're set free, but they're still watching you. They were like uh when we stopped the project, they gave us a place to go feed for LSD, where to go get our LSD dose and all. And they knew when we were doing trips, they were following us from that far, and just covering for us what the shit we're doing, like drugged and like like we were tests for them, and like they were using us as fearmonger in those years, like um yeah, like all kind of views, so and that's how a bit, like a lot of the gangs, the criminal world and all also, like, 'cause like there's a part of like the that are for politicians, cops, future cops, militaries and stuff like that, like head positions, and like they want to build those people. And there's other people that they want to build for like the drug markets, the control, and like that's how they keep control of everything. And like most of the gangs, the head of the gangs, like they're MK without knowing it, and like that's how like they they keep like everything under control, and like control everything, like it's all a matter of control, like the MK Ultra is to mind control the population, like, but like they have to control the drug markets, like my buddy, take for example that like got arrested for like I think 650 tons of cocaine, like so yeah, CIA is pretty known for that. So that's what I'm saying, a bit. Uh, so you gotta. I mean, it's not many people, the real people that are talking, because it's so like it implies so much and all. But like look at me, like that life they given me, like they took everything I had, and like they're stopping everything I have. I'm doing like example, like I want to advertise stuff. Okay, that's an example that I saw like 2 days ago. Advertising puppies. Okay, my puppies are advertised. Like I share the ad for the last 2 months, 3 months, and like it's not like saying it's all good. It's refresh. It's all good. But it's only on my phone and my laptop. Everywhere I share, it's just showing that my puppies are sold and showing the other puppies. So that's just an example. And like people like from everywhere can check me because they're still on like uh, but on my phone, like it's like everything is fine. So like but like everything I'm trying to do, they're doing shit like that to block me. So to get out of that, because
You
yeah,
have
like
one person that's been following you around all this time, or is it
oh yeah,
multiple people of like a group of them that's watching?
it's a group of them. They're
Group?
they're, they're a group. And like it's not because I have in my case I have witnesses, like people that like were in the project from like that got recruited with me and all. Like I got like a bunch of like like proof of, like people from the CIA that could be like assigned to come in court and like testify that like they trained me and all, and like so I got a shitload of proof. And like it's just like every time I'm trying, people are scared to like help out, or like they don't believe because it's so big. But like I'm not the bullshit type. Like, like I'm exposing all my life. Like
Yeah.
I'm an open book now. Like so,
Yeah.
it's
I've
for sure
seen.
I kept some important information that I don't release as a like a kill switch. So like that's why like nothing's happening to me. But like I released so much. Like I closed like 6 places that there were other places, schools and stuff like that that they were using to do tests for like the Monarch Project and like or like military training and stuff like that. I talked about like dumb bases that are like underground, like huge dumb base that like the military have, and like with tunnels and like I describe all the place, like the entrance and all, like like that's under the Canadian Air Force base, the Bagotville, and like it's all stuff that uh, usually you can't talk about, but like I have a lot of stuff that they don't want out, and like I'm the same on the same page a bit for that. Like but like it's a security, like and I have no control over it. So like even they torture me, like they won't know shit because I don't know shit. So that's how like with the MK Ultra, like you can use a bit like what they build inside you, the storage and stuff like that. But like it's impossible after like to because of all the because how they were doing this, like the traumas were when we're being traumatized, like the to cope with this, we create altars like during the trauma to like and like that's what they wanted. They were like taking those altars and programming them, and after like making us forget all this with the hypnose. But like those altars or programs come out in like needed situation or like on those like ultra low frequency sound tests that they were doing, like always getting us used to the same tonality. And like we can get a phone call and like just fall on neutral. We can be next to people, friends, and all, and just like we're on the phone, but we're actually taking orders and we don't know. Like we're not conscious. We have no control over this. They can send us to kill somebody, and like after, like you don't even remember. Like you remember, like when awkward stuff like that happens, like you remember a bit vaguely to dreams. You think it's dreams, and like yeah, they programmed us to see the worst of the worst from when we like from the first appointment was like looking in a machine and they were passing image of like militaries, like Germany military, um, uh, satanic rituals, images, nuclear blasts, uh, like orgies, like uh, suicide scene, murder scene, family cut in pieces, stuff like that. But a repetition, and they were always like changing the because there were like different like lenses of colors that they were just placing in front, and like those images were just like a repetition all the time. But like that's just like the examples. That's at 6 years old. Like, like you're supposed to watch like cartoons, not like that kind of shit. So, but like that from a young age on a regular base made us that we're cold to this, and we can like that won't like stop us from operate or like we're kind of cold blooded to this. But like me in my personal like evolution in this, like the conscience that they took from me when in all this, I've gained it back, like through like like the realizing all this, processing all this, and like the conscience. Life is important, and like there's like so like there's there's a lot of damage they do, but like it's not like impossible to get back from, I'm a good person today and but I like the shit they made me do and all like oh it's insane. So like and it's not just my case, it's like like there's thousands of us. But yeah, like in different fields and like for different roles, but like it's all a matter of control at the end. Like we're assets, CIA assets, like the ones that are like that finish that 6 years are like they have their little gray card like with their like asset number. Because another thing like when they brought me to Montauk, on my way there, they all gave us, because we were like four kids in the car. Okay, and like they gave us like Addie house names to use there, and like because we were French, we were from Quebec, and like it was English name in my case, and like it was Duncan Cameron, and like my buddy Steve was Pedro de Montoya, and because he looked like a Mexican, and the two other ones, like I don't remember their names that they were like given, but like we were rehearsing this in the car going there, and like we were on LSD, like right in the car, like for the traveling, and like some point I was messing up and all, but like yeah, like that's all souvenirs that came back because I went through regression hypnosis because at some point, like like the flashbacks and memories that were coming back were so intense. Like I had to, like, am I going nuts? Because, like, when they released us, they erase our memory. Okay, also with like electroshock, and like they implant a frame of thought. So, in my case, like, when they finish cooking my brain with the thing you putting your face in it, like you're putting your chin on a pad, and like there's another pad for your forehead, and there's two
Right.
gray stick with a ball at the end that like gives you shock on the temple, and when like like you're done like doing the electroshock, like they tell you, like in my case, like I had the nicest childhood. I went twice to Disney, and like, but something really basic that they did, and this came back during the regression hypnosis, and like like the lady that I use, like she had a background and like as a survivor herself, and like she removed like the hypnotic suggestions and the hypnotic blockage because like I couldn't remember anything that was important from that point. Like they erased my memory, but they didn't specify if it was for like my regular life, the CIA stuff, or like so like I was like forgetting anything that was important. I was forgetting till I got the hypnose done, and when she removed those blockage, that's where I like started the memories starting flowing back and clear, and so like not just as like a flashback, but like the real step from like how I got there, and like like where it led, and so
Right.
um yeah, like that changed my life, the regression hypnosis. But it's at the same time, when you're passing from a guy that forgot everything and realizing all this, it's a mega shock to realize all this. So you have to like take like every memory, you go through it, and like you kind of process your memory and accept it before biting in another one. Because like yeah, you got to chew each of it and like kind of deal with it by like kind of
Yeah, it's a
what do I talk about and what do I don't talk about, and like and so
that's
yeah.
a hard thing to get through. So I'm very proud of you for being able to get through all of this sanely. I've seen
Yeah,
documentaries about this place, and I can't even imagine going through something like that. Um, it's it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. So I am very proud of how you've gotten through this, and what you're doing to help stop this. So
mm,
it is amazing, and it puts me speechless, and my heart goes out to each and every one of you because it is not something, it's not, it's just not.
yeah, and like the parents like that get offered this, like like it's nice because it's all people like fancy suit that are approaching you, and like people that you should be relying on. The social services are on it, the schools, like the principal, the teachers, everybody knew. So like I don't know, like it's you have to like by reading my book, and reading other survivors' stories, you see the pattern they're using. Because, like, it's not always the exact same thing, but there's a pattern to it. And, like, that doesn't, like, lie. So, like, when you get offered this and you get offered money by the government, oh, and like you want to jump to a few classes ahead, because like sample in my case, they were asking like to measure a penny. That was in the first few tests to size us, who we were, and like your capacity. And they asked us to how we could like measure a penny. So people were measuring the face and or maybe the what. But like me, I went and said, okay, you write a line and you roll it too. So like I had like more techniques to, and that was like, oh, you want to go in those classes. So like that's a bit how they were processing and. Um, Yeah, that's, parents that read my book, because it's not for a kid. I wouldn't suggest it's 18 plus, and there's a reason I'm really crude. It's like there's no censorship. It's like a core statement, so, um, but the parent that can read it and like after have a chat with their young kids that are going to school or like maybe go more often to the school, like surprise visit and see what's going on, and just come in for a little visit, because this is happening in regular schools, like you don't see it, it's a well-tuned machine, and like every asset that were like recruited in that project, they were buying a house next to it to them to have an eye on them 24/7. So like they were couldn't be like other stores that would like get in contact with them or yeah, like that. There were a huge budget for this. So uh, but like I say, you can't trust those people. Like you have to be more present and like your kids, and anybody that tells you like you're not allowed to ask him question and he's not allowed to like talk about anything, like that gives a sign
That's a,
first.
yeah, that's a huge sign. Huge sign. You should be able to talk to your child no matter what the topic is, any and every topic, and they should be able to answer you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that there
So,
shouldn't be any secrets between a parent and a child. And
yeah.
yeah, that is a very, very scary thing. And the scary thing about it is it's very, very real. This stuff is
Oh,
happening and we have to stop it. And I'm proud of you for opening up and letting people know and having a book to explain what's going on. And that's why I wanted to bring you on the show, because this is something that I've watched documentaries about, and it's something that it just broke my heart of these kids being revealed to this stuff that is happening. And when I heard where that you were part of this group, I was just, oh my goodness. you know, it's just this guy has to come on and explain what's going on out there. And so thank you. I thank you very much for coming on the show and talking about this and getting your book out there so that people can understand this program that's happening and terrifying.
yeah, and
Yeah.
also like it's not just in Canada, they're doing this like in each country they have like a like in my case like the my recruiter was John Gittinger, and he was the chief recruiter for the CIA, but many other secret services. So like he was like flaring the kids that future in like the spy, because like that was the goal. We were supposed to be spies, assassins, backups. Like that was like like what they sold us the idea as a kid when we were 6, and like we didn't realize that like because like they had a checklist, but like really basic, and like it's our teacher that was helping us filling it out. And like she was there, are you sure? Like, cause like like we didn't know what we were getting in. Like she probably knew because like she probably did like other groups before that. But like that was how they processed to like get kids in my case. So and like many of my friends are still alive and like ready to witness like if there's like backup because so far like like I give so many proof and like the people that should be like like all over the story and like wanted to get like that are like yapping like oh like working hard and getting the story out when I gave them facts like sample like call this dude you know him ask him this like and they don't do it oh no I don't have time like whoa like and it's all because of the money behind the because like the story generated 20 billion, over 20 billions with Stranger Things. So like the money behind this, like it's a black ops now. Like like my story was turned into a black op. So that's why I'm being censored everywhere. Like yeah, it's part of like my new life since I started asking questions. Like like the lady, because like they killed me like the night before I got like in jail, but like a lady, a nurse, reanimated me, and like she got killed a few weeks after, and uh like yeah, like my story is wild, but like it's all like like anybody that like wants to like. It's can be all like justified like like I know people from all my life like I have like how many friends and all that like so it's just that it's hard to get this out and without being censored or like shadow banned like a bit like I was saying like uh on my app like on my phones and like laptop it's all good but like it's not shown to anybody. So that's the kind of the team, the targeted team, like that they put on you. Just anything you try to do, like they shadow ban you and all. So that's what I'm dealing with since I started releasing the story and all, and like yeah, I got an offer like at the beginning, like just before I released my book, and like the offer was really nice too, like like few millions and like like but they took like my business was worth probably 15 million so like like the few million they were giving me like they stole it from me like earlier like so that's now not how I see thing and like I, I lost friends and like yeah like people have to like because like they're talking of the legends and all but like those guys were there and like like screw them up and like a lot of because like they're programming also like a program that like to kill yourself when you're like getting a certain age and like yeah like a lot of them kill themselves like and you try to like deal with this like when it's imprinted in you like through the hypnose and all from a young age like so it's really like like a depression on like steroids kind of thing when this happens. So yeah, like they left us like all like to ourselves for ourselves like after like trying to kill us and like and erasing our memory and all. But yeah, like I'm still able to talk, and that's what I'm doing. Like, because
Yeah.
people have to know the real facts, not just the sci-fi and oh yeah, like coming out of a the ship that like vanished, and like there's so many stories and tales, legends, and like all build of what happened at Montauk, especially because I think this was really the worst place. So, but like, my experience, like, I'm sure other kids had it worse than me. Like, there's so many that didn't make it out, but like, some that like got so traumatized because like those guys that were doing this, like I said, were drug and like they were taking pleasure at it. They had no limits and all. Like, it was like the goal was to traumatize us and like, so yeah, they were having fun, and you were hearing them like laughing from far, and they were coming, and you were just like uh, putting yourself in a little spot in your cage, and just like hoping they weren't coming for you. Like go get it. The other ones, like because like uh, what they were
Yeah.
doing, like like when they were
Yeah.
picking us up or like coming in a cage and raping kids, like like. You didn't want them like you heard, yeah, when you
Mhm.
started, you heard them like laughing, like, yeah, something like you weren't like,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, oh, I knew this would go quick. Our hour is here, but I want to thank you for coming on the show and speaking up about this. I I wanted to help you out to get the word out about this type of stuff going on. So thank you so much for being on the show,
thanks.
and we'll get this out. We'll
Yeah,
get
and
this
like
out.
if people want more information, I started a website. It's like um, terror at montauk.com, and like there's so many like because like I put a lot of information like like documents from the government and all like because I'm pretty selective on what I put there, but I want to like stop the legends and tales, and I want to give the real facts. So like I want to give the people a real place to be able to have like factual information, not like like that they're saying. And there's it's the only place also for to get my the copy of my book because I tried to put it on Amazon, and like the next morning I was banned for life, and like my book was banned for life too. So I can't even like open an account on Amazon since I released my like not even 24 hours after. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
gives you an idea.
right, right. Well, we'll put all that information in the notes below. So if anybody out there wants to get involved and help out and get the word out, help get this word out. So we'll do that, get everything in the notes. And if anybody out there that has a story of the paranormal or supernatural and you would like to share it on the show, email me, lighttalk423@gmail.com. And we will talk with everybody next time. And thank you again for being on the show.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.